Hello fellow woodchopperoos, Stanton here. Today's episode, how you, the woodworker, can make extra money whether it's part-time or full-time. How much money? How's $100 an hour sound? Whoopee! Stay tuned right here and find out how on another episode of Just Plain Bored. Now, as a full-time furniture maker and licensed contractor, I can tell you it's really hard to make a living selling things such as birdhouses or picnic tables. But you can make good money in cabinets. No, not in making them. It takes up too much space, there's way too much money involved, and too much competition out there. No, I'm talking about cutting them down. Walk into any appliance store today, and you'll see that the fridges, stoves, microwaves, well, they're all bigger. Although this seems great, there's a problem that occurs. Fitting those new appliances into the old spot, now that becomes an issue. The new appliance is hitting the cabinet, and some of these appliances are bigger by as much as 6 inches. Now, if the homeowner is remodeling his whole kitchen, well, chances are he's getting all new cabinets. However, if they just bought a new appliance, well, this is a great opportunity for you. Okay, sure, you might be thinking, hey, the homeowner can just go back to the manufacturer. Why would they need me? Well, here's why. The manufacturer changes styles and profiles on their cutting bits every 2 years. So if a homeowner wants a cabinet shorter and the cabinet's older than 2 years, he's out of luck. And even if the cabinets are within that time frame, how quick do you think the manufacturer is going to make one? So this is a great opportunity to make some big money. Cutting down the actual cabinet carcass, that's not too difficult. But cutting these cabinets also requires cutting the doors, and if it has a raised panel, it has to be reshaped. That's a little trickier. Now, to see how to cut down the cabinets and reshape the profile on a raised panel, check out our Wood Chopping Time episode titled Make Big Money as a Part-Time Woodworker. This will show the step-by-step process to do this whole procedure. You can go to the video from the link provided below in the description, or just check out the video page over at woodchoppingtime.com. Now here's some details I didn't mention in the cut down cabinet video. As I said, cutting down the carcass of the cabinet is pretty straightforward, but when it comes to cutting down the cabinet doors, you have to deal with the profile. There are countless profiles that have raised panels out there. Having a router or a shaper and all the bits that would match the profiles, well, that would get really expensive. A raised panel bit can cost over $100 each, and finding the one that matches exactly to what you're trying to do, that's going to be hard, slim to none. So I suggest getting a set of hollow and round hand planes. You can make any profile imaginable with these planes. Look to a future video on Wood Chopping Time on how to use hollow and rounds. Another useful tip is when it comes to matching the stain. When cutting down those cabinet doors, you're going to have to do some touch-up. What I like to do is I like to save the old cutoffs to the cabinet. That way I can experiment mixing and matching to try and get the color. I've also found a local paint store that will match the stain for me, but I usually have to buy a whole quart, and that means I have a lot of extra stain left over. However, I've acquired enough stain over the years that I can mix and match my own. I've also been told that if you have the cabinet name, many times you can call directly to the manufacturer and they can send you the stain or the recipe for the stain. They also, too, can send that recipe right to a paint store so they could make it for you. Another point worth mentioning is exactly how long did it take me from start to finish on that cabinet? Well, it all depends on the complexity of the cabinet itself, but on average it takes me about 6 hours. And if it's real difficult, I can charge as high as $600. Now, this seems like a lot of money, but who else could do this? Plus, it's way cheaper than buying all new cabinets for the kitchen. but honestly, on average, I charge about $300 for a cabinet cut down. So by now, I probably have your attention, and you're thinking about making some money. However, before you go out looking for work, I would suggest picking up a few used cabinets, whether it's at a garage sale, Goodwill, a Habitat for Humanity restore, and practice doing a few. Once you got the hang of it, well, now you're ready for customers. And speaking of customers, here's how you can get some. Begin by going to the big box stores such as Home Depot or Lowe's. Introduce yourself and tell them what it is you have to offer. They sell a lot of appliances, and this problem occurs often. Having your name in their records will come in handy, and they'll call you when such a problem arises. Remodeling contractors are another good source of work too. Attend like a home and garden show and approach them at their booths. Have a card ready and some before and after photos of your work. You could also visit the Professional Remodelers organization in your area. They have connections to many reputable contractors and are always looking to add special talents to their list of resources. Remember, carpenters do a great job installing, but they don't have the skills to rebuild. Any contractor will be happy to add your name to their speed dial. A couple of more points to consider is whether you're dealing with the big box stores or a contractor, find out if you're dealing with them or directly with the homeowner. Sometimes the stores or the contractors will have you go through them, so they can mark up the price. Other times they'll just simply hand the job off to you, and then you deal directly one-on-one with the homeowner. Bottom line is, don't mention any price until you know who it is you're billing. Another thing to consider is find out who's doing the actual installing and removing of the cabinet. Now, many times the carpenter who's doing the actual job, well, he'll handle this, but don't assume. If you're asked to do it, I suggest you charge at an hourly rate on top of the charge for cutting down the cabinet. Well, there you have it. How to make big money as a part-time woodworker. If you have any questions regarding this video or any other woodworking projects, feel free to email me at stantonfinefurniture@gmail.com. You could also check out the blog for a written version of this video at woodshopandtime.com. Well, on behalf of myself and Safety Dan, we thank you and go dance now, people.